These are the Primal Pursuits from Lems. I've worn them for 1 month now as my daily shoe, and it's got me asking one big question. Are these even barefoot shoes? In this video, we'll find out. First, let's look at the actual shoe. These retail for around 140 USD, although I've seen this used on Facebook Marketplace. I actually got these from Facebook Marketplace for around 130 AUD. These come in a few colorways, but this is the Nocturnal Ninja or triple black version. And Lems does market this as a bit of an all-rounder in-between shoe between their more cushioned hiking shoes like the Mesa or the Trailhead and their more minimal street shoe like a Lems Primal 2s. First impressions, they look good. They look really good. These are probably the best looking barefoot shoes I have so far, and they look a lot like a traditional sneaker, which might be a pro or a con for you depending on what you're after. The toe reminds me of a New Balance 574, as you'll see here in the comparison photo, which is one of my favorite sneakers of all time, so I really like it. I like how it's an all black shoe, but it has these white specks on the sole. It sort of breaks up the monotony. I'm not a big fan of these triple black shoes because of that monotony, so I really like this look. One thing of note is that on other models, these strips are reflective, but not on the black ones, which I guess makes sense because you can't make black reflective. The upper is made of PU, so it is vegan, which might be a plus if you're vegan, but for me personally, I would have preferred leather because it's gonna be a bit more durable. I hope this still lasts long. I can't really say much about the durability just yet. This does mean though that it's pretty easy to clean, so after a pretty muddy hike, all I had to do was wipe it down and it looks fine. Now it weighs a bit heftier than my other barefoot shoes. I mean, just look at how much thicker this is compared to the Vivo Barefoot Primus Lights. This supposedly weighs in at around 300 grams or 10.5 ounces, compared to the Primus Lights, which weigh in at around 180 grams or 6.3 ounces. Now let's talk about the width of the shoe. So this shoe is supposed to be on the medium width spectrum, same as the Lems Chukka Canvas, which I've reviewed in the previous video. You can actually check it out here. This is what it looks like side by side, and the appearance sort of confirms how I feel, which is that the Lems Chukka Canvas feels a lot wider than the Primal Pursuits. Which to me is weird because I've actually put the insoles on top of each other and they're the exact same size width-wise. This is still a wide shoe compared to traditional shoes, but definitely not as wide as this one, even though they're supposed to be the same width. Also, on a flexibility side, this is not a very flexible shoe. So I'm putting a lot of pressure here and you'll see it's not really rolling as well as barefoot shoes are supposed to roll. So this is what the Lems Chukka Canvas rolls up into. You'll see that's very flexible. And then the gold standard here obviously is the Vivo Barefoot Primus Lights, which just rolls up into like a handheld ball right here. The sole, as you see, is nice and grippy. There's some pretty thick lugs in here. This is supposed to be a 14mm stack height, although I'm not sure if that includes the lugs, which are 3mm. The insole itself is quite thick as well at 4.5mm, and you'll see there's almost like a heel lift here. It's very cushioned. It's meant to be Lems' adventure insole, and I'm gonna read out the description here. Moisture wicking PU with firmer cushioning and heel for added protection and comfort. Very interesting as a supposedly minimal-ish barefoot shoe to have this much cushion in the insole. Now for me, even though I am a barefoot shoe beginner myself, I've only been at it for just over 3-4 months, I've had to take the insole out from day one, and they've been fine. They've actually still had a lot more cushion than my Vivo Barefoot Primus Lights. And it's interesting for me that on Lems' website, they have a chart here which sort of charts all of their shoes by ground feel. This still has a 3.5 out of 5 on ground feel, even though I would probably classify this as more of like a 1/5 because there's not a lot of ground feel here at all. And I'm not sure if it's just my feet adjusting to it, but this almost feels like a normal sneaker for me in terms of ground feel and cushion. Now, a weird thing that I didn't expect to get this annoyed by are the laces. These laces, for some reason, come undone so easily on normal shoelace knots. I've found myself having to tie my shoes way more on this shoe than any other shoe I've had, and I think it's because these laces are meant to be these elastic-ish laces. They are very, very slippery and they come undone very easily. So if that bothers you, just swap out the laces or just do double knots like I've been doing. So let's talk about overall performance and how I've been liking it. I've been using this as a daily shoe now for over a month. I work in tech, so it's a pretty casual work setting, and I've been using this as my daily work shoe. It's summer right now in Sydney, so this actually goes well with shorts as well, but it also goes well with jeans, and because of its rugged aesthetic, I think it'll go with Gorpcore outfits as well. So all of you people with overpriced Arc'teryx jackets that you actually have never worn out in the snow, this is for you as well. I've taken this on some light hikes and trails, and they performed well there as well. And as I said, whenever they got dirty, they've been really easy to clean, so I've been able to transition from using this as a weekend hiking shoe to then using this for work on the weekdays pretty seamlessly. Because of its versatility, I've also just been wearing this as my gym shoe when I go to work, and then I go to the gym at night. I don't need to bring an extra pair of shoes, and that's very convenient. But ultimately, we need to talk about the elephant in the room and go back to the first question that I posed at the start of this video. Are these even barefoot shoes? If the common definition of a barefoot shoe is a wide toe box, zero drop, and a flexible sole, well, this only hits 2 of those, so technically close but not quite. If you are looking for max ground feel, this is not going to be the shoe for you. You should go for something as minimal as the Vivo Barefoot Primus Lights, where you can literally feel every painful rock that you step on. But to Lem's credit, I don't think they were marketing this as a barefoot shoe. They were marketing it as an in-between shoe between their extremely rugged shoes and their more minimalist shoes. So I guess it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I find that this can be a great transition shoe, and I think Lems is a great brand for that type of thing anyway. If you're just trying out more minimalist or barefoot shoes and you don't want to overcommit to something without cushion, this could be a good shoe for you. But really, does it matter that this is not a traditional barefoot shoe? I think that's up to you to decide. If you're looking for a wider, more flexible alternative to traditional sneakers, but you don't want to go all the way and go all out on something like Vivo Barefoot, then this could be a good shoe for you. No judgment there. But if you're only after the most minimal barefoot shoe possible that can be super flexible, that has maximum ground feel, I think you already know the answer if this shoe is going to be for you or not. Now, if you want to learn more about my barefoot shoe journey, click this video on the upper left. If you want to see my review of the Lems Chukka canvas, click this video on the lower left. Bye!